Easy Mixed is a good test of your skills and various techniques learned in other courses. It is not, however, a place to learn all these skills at once. The gaps in difficulty between each jump are relatively small, but you may not see a technique for a few jumps, meaning the next time it shows up, it will be much harder. Because of this, you should be fairly comfortable with the techniques in the other courses. Not necessarily having beat all of those courses, but at least getting a firm grasp of the concepts. The first 5 jumps in Easy Mixed should be of little issue to someone who's adequately prepared themselves for this course, so I'll only go over them briefly. Jump 1 is just a few pillars to ascend, and while you can shoot the walls, you should be capable of going up each one with a single crouch jump. Jump 2 is a short pogo. See if you can cross it in just 3 rockets. The third jump is a strafe, and while you can shoot a rocket to get more speed into the strafe, you can also make it just by jumping off and strafing. Jump 4 is the first jump that might start to feel a little weird or challenging, but shouldn't be too bad. You want to strafe to the left to get to the wall for the wall shot, then stop strafing and aim for it. The fact that this wall is on the outside makes it a bit harder, but not too much. Jump 5 requires you to get speed, like in Easy Walls 4, then to shoot off the jerf ramp for distance. Again, this one shouldn't be too bad, but might be a little challenging since you need to generate and conserve enough speed to cross the gap. Jump 6 is where everything changes. Like Easy Walls 10 or Easy Pogo 8, this is the jump where most people congregate in this course. There are 3 things that you want to get right to make this jump. First, you want to get a powerful rocket jump that gets you to the wall while you still have vertical momentum to work with. Second, you want to maintain that vertical momentum while climbing up the wall. And then to finish it off, you need to transfer off the wall to the end of the jump. You should know that to get a powerful rocket jump, you want to crouch jump and shoot all at the same time. But you need more than just power, you need a good angle too. If you aim straight down, you'll be falling before you get to the wall, so you want to aim a little bit behind you. Ideally, you don't just back up into the jump, because you actually go a little slower and can't see what you're doing with that technique. It's a bit harder to learn to turn around and shoot behind like I'm doing here, but it'll pay off if you take the time to learn it this way. Once you're getting to the wall, you want to initiate a wall climb like Easy Walls 5 or Easy Pogo 8. You should be climbing faster than you do on Easy Pogo 8 if you get to the wall quickly. If you're ascending 1 panel per rocket, you're doing well here. The technique for climbing this wall will be the same as in Easy Pogo 8, so go ahead and revisit that jump to improve. Even though it's easier to keep climbing, it's roughly as difficult to keep your speed, which is very important because you want it for the next step. When it's time to dismount the wall and get to the end, you want to release W so you're no longer attached to the wall, and aim a little higher so you go up and out more. If you don't make it, you are either too low, rising too slowly, or messed up that last rocket, either by holding W or aiming it poorly. Jump 7 goes back to something pretty easy, but the rest of the course quickly picks up in difficulty again. Just jump off and strafe back and forth to complete the jump. 8 is a walls jump, probably harder than Easy Walls 10. You really want to practice good technique here. If you completed Easy Walls using backwards walls technique or by holding W, I strongly encourage you to revisit the course and redo it with proper technique before even attempting this jump. For this jump, remember that you only need to strafe as much as you need to get to each wall, so you probably need to strafe little to none to get back to the walls where it curves to the left. On jump 9, you speed pogo to the end. Get speed with your first rocket, and keep it throughout the jump by timing and placing your rockets carefully. When dealing with the slanted pogo at the end, you may need to wait extra long to get the rocket where you want it. You generally want to aim in front of you a good bit to help catch you and keep height. Jump 10 is a jerf. Using your rockets effectively is very important for these jumps. You can see me getting speed, then height, all to prepare for the last rocket to send me up fast and far. You can use the slanted wall near the end, as well as the wall bordering the floor at the top of the jump, if you need a little bit more to get you to the end. The sync on jump 11 is deceiving. While it's just a double sync, the height is somewhat awkward to work with, and that throws some people off. To cope with that, you can either learn the timing well enough to walk off, shoot mid-air timed well, land, and quickly rocket jump. Or you can just compensate by rocket jumping to start the sync off. Note that when you rocket jump, you'll be falling pretty far, so you'll probably want to look at your rocket like you do for triples. Jump 12 gets a lot of people stuck for a while, and for good reason. It's in the running for the hardest jump out of anything in the easy courses. This jump is the first proper mixed jump. First you start the jump off with a wall shot, then you skip off the middle platform, which uses skills you learned from Pogo, and last you do a ramp shot, which you learned in Jerf. First, the wall start. Like in Easy Walls 4, you want to go fast and low. This is arguably the most important of the 3 rockets to get right, because the momentum you get here will allow you to keep going with the jump. Going fast and low is so important because it'll let you get the most speed possible out of the skip, and that will set you up for the ramp. One pitfall a lot of people get in is sending themselves too high when they get a powerful rocket. They realize that they can't continue the jump if they go too low, so they send themselves higher. The issue is, when they get a really well-timed first rocket, they go even higher than before, and they're not set up to do the rest of the jump. You should be failing a lot by going too low, because you could either have simply aimed wrong, or had a weaker rocket jump, which sent you low. Going too high should only happen when you both had a good rocket jump and aimed such that you went too high, never just with a mediocre rocket jump. Now for the skip rocket. Pogo taught you how to move with different ground rockets. Now it's time to employ that in a different scenario. Normally in Pogo, when you're moving fast, you want to aim up to keep height with your Pogo. In this case though, you don't really care about how high you are, you just want raw speed. Go ahead and aim down, or even a little bit behind you, so you get as much speed as you can out of that rocket. Like in Pogo, the rocket will give you a lot more power if you're closer to it, so keep close to the skip rocket with your first rocket, and time the skip well. The third rocket should be aimed low and shot late. This way you'll get a lot of speed and some height that'll get you across the gap. Aiming a bit behind can be a bit harder, but it can also squeeze a little more distance out of the ramp, so the choice is there if you want to do it. It's very important that you wait until you're already sliding on the ramp to shoot your rocket. If your rocket hits you before you're sliding up the ramp, you'll get a ton of speed going into the ramp, but you won't get the height boost that a rocket shot on the ramp gives. So you won't make it very far even though you're moving pretty fast. To get as much speed and distance as possible, you want to wait until pretty late to shoot that rocket. Don't worry about whether you have enough speed to slide up the ramp. If you were too slow to slide, you weren't making the jump anyway. See if you do slide, and if you do, time that rocket late so you maximize your distance. Beating Easy Mixed is a pretty big milestone, since it requires proficiency with a wide variety of jumping techniques. Hopefully this helps you get there. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.